Oh, actually, I'm a touch early, aren't I? A couple of minutes. I didn't mean to pop on so early. I read my clock wrong. I had to make a couple adjustments. I actually had the windows open today, so so I was very happy to close them because, of course, as the world wakes up, the noise arises, doesn't it? And I'm also noticing that I should have pulled this a bit more in. Sorry about that. Let me pull it in even further so that it doesn't look like. I don't know if you guys have noticed before, but this little tail right here was hanging from my microphone before, and it looked like a hair. It's actually part of a mask that I was given. I was with a client and he bought those for me, and they're absolutely fabulous. And who knows, maybe I'll wear one during the non Halloween that we're having. Anyway, how is everyone? Welcome. It's Monday, it's October. What more could anyone ask? I'm Terry Harden, and we're going to talk a lot of stuff today. Disneyland is in the news again, and we'll talk a little bit about Disneyland. We'll talk about some up stuff in Disneyland and some, oh my goodness, okay, stuff in Disneyland. And I made my little list here, which I always do so that I can kind of follow along and make sure I don't miss anything. So, first, let me share with you or ask you, how was your weekend? What did you do? Did you binge watch something fun or did you create something new? I will say that my husband and I, every Sunday, when possible, which is 99.9% of the time now that it's COVID, now that we have a pandemic, every Sunday is our family day. And that is the day when we turn off our phones and we don't watch the news and we make it about the two of us. And the funny thing that happened was that we both are terribly interested in stop motion animation, and it is very new to me. I've done a little bit of it. I went to Disney University to learn claymation when the Disney Institute was up and running. It was a lot of fun. I worked with stop motion animators there, claymation animators, and I did a little short. I don't even know if I even have it anymore. It was that long ago. I'm sure I do. It's just, is it on something that can actually be transferred to show it now? Because back then it was on some sort of tape, VHS maybe. I mean, that long ago. But but anyway, so we were just fascinated, and we came across a guy who is very, very impressive. He's out of, where did my husband say he was from? He works with Aardman, the ones who do the beautiful Wallace and Gromit shorts and that kind of thing. He was a part of them for a while. I don't know if he still is. But and I don't know if this happened recently or not, but he hit 100,000 followers. And I guess YouTube gives you this trophy when you have 100,000 followers. So please go subscribe so I can get to 200 followers. That would be great. But he has 100,000. And I stopped because I wanted to see what got him there. He said he'd been working on it for 4 years. And it turns out he builds stop motion animation armatures, and he's a stop motion animator. And it was fascinating to hear him. His English is second language, so you got to really listen. But he's a charming, sweet, delightful individual, and he loves what he does. So we watched some of his videos. He has a very elaborate system. He has a CNC, my husband says, where you can program the drilling and program the machine to do stuff. And oh, it was just fascinating. And he just showed us, just watching his stuff. And then we watched a lot of stop motion films that people did. YouTube is full of them. It was fun to see some that were like a little weird, and some that were interesting, some that were sweet and cute. There was also a great behind the scenes for Leica, which did Kubo and the Two Strings, and also did Box Trolls and stories like that. So that was our day yesterday as we kind of curled up. I made a delicious brunch, and then we watched all of these. We studied stop motion because I'd like to try it. I have some armatures, and he talked about some of the ways you could start and play with. So I'd be listening and doing that. Like I have a lot of time, I don't. But I've realized that I need to give myself an hour or two at some point during the week, just like I schedule my family day. Then it's important that you schedule like a fun day where you're doing something that really isn't going to move you forward. I'm not going to, honestly, I'm not going to become a stop motion animator. I'm just curious about how it works because I know it takes a long time. And listening to several animators talk about their challenges and the time it takes to do seconds of footage. And this is true of any animation. Animations take time because you're hand drawing or you're many your computer, but they don't happen in a minute. So I know that my husband and I took like a day to do a few seconds of the kind of animation like our teacup video where I'm turning cups and our Disneyland dance party where it's based on the Haunted Mansion to celebrate the Haunted Mansion. So basically, this is a lot of fun. This is very exciting. It was a lot of fun. It's a great way to do it. Also, I heard on the news it was Taco Day. And Friday they said it's Taco Day, but I think they said the actual day was maybe Sunday or today. But the taco people, good marketing, said, why wait? Celebrate Taco Day now. And they meant Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Just make yourself a taco weekend. And we have a place nearby called the Tin Horn Flats, and they are a bar, but they also serve food, obviously. I mean, a lot of bars nowadays realize that they're better if they serve food along, right? And this place does killer tacos. This place is just, the tacos are amazing. And we have a guy that is in our bubble, our pandemic bubble. And he's a lovely person. Before the pandemic, he lost his wife. And so we automatically created this bubble with him because we didn't want him alone. And we didn't want him to feel, can you imagine, you have this lockdown and then you can't have anybody sort of help you. So he's got several people who love him very much because he's a lovely person. And his wife was also a very lovely person. And so whenever the time rolls around, we try and bring him over. We all social distance and do something fun. Well, we did Taco Day. We did Taco Day on Saturday. We did a fun Taco Day, and I ordered tacos from Tin Horn Flats. And the lovely people at Tin Horn Flats are so cute and so sweet. And they just make the best tacos ever. So, and the challenge is with Tin Horn Flats is the best deal is, what is it? It's like 16 tacos. So there's only me and my husband. So 8 tacos a person is a bit, large. So we end up, eating the tacos over a couple days, which is great. That's what we did for lunch yesterday, right? But because we had our friend over, we made sure he took tacos home. Because when you live alone, sometimes you don't cook. And the reason you don't cook is because cooking for one can sometimes be fun. And it can also be something that you just kind of go, oh, really? I don't really want to cook for one. I've got to break down the recipe, or maybe I'm going to put in a microwave meal or something. You know what I mean? So maybe you have a pizza or whatever. So I wanted him to have a fun day. So we did. We had these amazing tacos. And so it was just a really fun, upbeat weekend. You turn the TV off or you turn on things that you like and you watch that. And I was having some challenges with my Patreon page. We do a thing over there called Spotlight, and I spotlight each and every patron if I can get them to do it, talk about their lives and what makes them tick so I can get to know them, each and every one of them better. Some are shy, so they don't want to do it, but I keep saying, please, and hoping that they will. And those who do are always fascinating. Every single person is so fascinating. And so this one, I was really working hard to get up because I was running behind, and finally I was able to post it like late last night while my husband was asleep and I was still awake. But anyway, so there you go. There's that. So the title. Terry, what's going on with this title? You haven't talked about it. Okay, so let's talk about the positive side of Disneyland before we talk about the negative. Uh, it looks like the Bowers Museum in Santa Ana is doing a beautiful tour of the Disney archives. They'd have a inside the Disney archive show. Just announced today. I don't know how long it runs, but I'm sure you can go to the website and check it out. It looks fantastic. It it was based, okay, the archives were overseen by an amazing man named Dave Smith. Super, super meticulous guy, Dave Smith. Dave wrote several books. Dave and I were close friends. He was very, very, very detailed orient, an artist when it came to archives. Okay, remember what I said? An artist is passionate about what they love. That's what he did. He was passionate about collecting and keeping the archives alive, and he's got Disney stuff at the Bowers Museum. Because of him, they have the first ticket to Disneyland, which incidentally was $1. Really? Yeah. And he has the megaphone that Walt used before he was the Walt Disney. They have Alice Comedies, which is the very first Alice Comedies. You may have heard me talk about the Alice Comedies before, and Walt when he was not Walt and he was doing his first animations with Virginia Davis. And Virginia was a little girl. And I think I told you about the photo that I saw. She showed me where her dad is around the corner, making sure Walt behaves himself while he's filming his little girl. You know, it's a great picture. It's a great picture. Anyway, so they have that. They have pictures of they have an animation room where you see the table that the animators use and some of the things that are around an animator and some photos. And one of the photos is the amazing Floyd Norman. If you know Floyd or if you've seen his documentary, he is adorable and a very generous soul, and he's such a baby in that picture. So you guys may want to go check this out. I know I would like to check it out. I don't know if I'll be able to, but it sounds like a really fun thing. So I wanted to just let you guys know. Many of you guys are Johnny on the spot, so you may already know about it. But for those of you who may be a little more like me and maybe I didn't know about it, now you can know about it. Okay? It just sounds like a great thing to do. You can kind of walk through the history of Disneyland visually, and isn't that a lot of fun? Now, it is going to be done pandemic style, which means you're going to have the mask wearing, the social distancing, but it's still going to be great fun, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be very cool. So I urge you to go, and I'm certainly going to check out the website. Finally, well, not finally, but just before I went on air today, I heard that Disneyland is doing these massive layoffs. And it seems like they're going to do it just in time for Christmas. This is really sad. Okay, I don't know. How can I say this? I don't know why. Well, you know, it's the pandemic. This is different. Usually it would be really cool if they laid you off. Well, I don't know. When I was, a lot of times if I got laid off, and it happened, I got laid off a lot, but I was an independent contractor most of the time. But as an employee, I was an employee on a couple of things, and when I was laid off, they always did it in December, and I thought, right before Christmas, thanks a lot. But, you know, sometimes if you do it in November, you can get a job at least for the holidays to like carry you through the holidays. You know, maybe it's in sales, but this year I don't know. So maybe December is doing you a favor. What would really be a favor is maybe January 1st, get you through Christmas. And then, you know, say, come January 1st, guys, we got to lay you off. But 6,000 plus jobs are going to be, 6,000 plus layoffs are going to happen in Florida. They just announced that park's going to take a pretty good hit. 6,000 part-time and independent. I guess it's part-time, mostly part-time employees down there, which is just so sad. So I'm keeping my ear to the grindstone because I'm really hoping that those that do get laid off have another alternative that they can do. And keep up. We're thinking about you, and we're going to miss you. And honestly, should the park open, and it will, I waited all day Friday to hear from Gavin, and I didn't get to. because he wasn't on. So I'm kind of like hoping that he'll be on today and he'll address the park issue. Because basically, what I'd love Gavin to do is, I know he's a busy man. I get it. There's lots of crazy stuff going on. But come down to Disneyland, give them the benefit of the doubt and take a look at what they've already done and then make those tweaks to make it, you know, this is really great, Disneyland. This is really cool. But I think we need to do A, B, C, D, E to get you up to where we need to be. Or maybe you just, Gavin allows or endorses or encourages our county to do that. Because our county is in LA County. You don't even need to travel. Because County is in LA County. So LA County can pop over to Anaheim, have a nice walk through Disneyland, which honestly, guys, take it from me. When you walk through Disneyland when it is closed, it's awesome. I did it several times as an Imagineer, and I love it. I love it. So, note too, if you happen to be from the city council and listening to me, I'm not quite sure why you would, but let's just say you are. Then, if you are, then go to Disneyland and treat yourself. You got to go because of the pandemic. You got to check them out anyway. So use this. Get yourself down there. See why it's more than a park. It is an experience. And for some people, it is their air they breathe, the food they eat, the life they love to live. So this is why you are getting the pressure. I cannot speak for the city council of Anaheim, because they are now realizing what side their bread is buttered on, how desperately they need Disneyland. In the beginning, they were really giving Disneyland some trouble, as I mentioned before, and now they're going, whoops, we really need these guys, alert. So my point is this: go down, find out why Disneyland. Why is Disneyland the one that keeps knocking on your door and saying we gotta open? Really, it's they don't want to lay off their people. Of course they don't. Nobody wants to, but they're a business. They're going to have to do something to survive. But also, these are our friends, aren't they? A lot of these people that are being laid off down at the Walt Disney World and here at Disneyland and in various spots, it's more than just a person that you're giving your money to. You're giving your money to a friend. You're always going to see. I always go to the Disney Gallery to see my friends there. I've got a lot of friends that are cast members there, and I always pop in to visit them and see how they're doing, No, seriously. So this is one of the things that is different from other parks. I mean, it could happen in other parks. I'm not saying that it doesn't, but what I'm saying at Disneyland, it is a criteria. This is what they do. I go and see my friend Laura at California Adventure. I go and see my friend John in Walt Disney World. I go see my friends, etc. You see what I'm saying? So that's exactly. My friend Janie works at the Emporium. So I go to see my friends when I go there, and I'm not the only one who does that. I mean, I don't know. There's a club called the Porch Sitters Club. You know that porch on Main Street? There's a club that sits there. They have an official pin. They have a certificate. They have rules. The porch sitters must be going mad right now, because the porch sitters, they sit on the porch. That's exactly what they do. And they watch people go by and they say hi to everybody and they say, this is our club. And it's a club of people that sit on the porch on Main Street. Serious. No, really. Okay. So what are the porch sitters going to do? They're going to sit on their porch, but it's not the same. So, Gavin, this is what we're talking about. We don't want to add to your burden, but what we're saying is you get Disneyland open, you're going to have a lot of happy people. And Disneyland is definitely going to do their due diligence, aren't they? So either you go down, which I think would make you feel really good, because it's a very lovely place to feel great. And if not, send the County of LA officials and the doctor. She deserves it. The doctor deserves, every one of those people deserve it. And the people who do the sign language, they should come too. because I love watching them. They're so good. And then the little girl who wipes down the counter between every speaker in California. That tiny little girl. She is just so cute. She reaches up and she cleans everything. And what is she? She's like 5 feet tall. She's adorable. She always has a cute mask on. It's just all you guys deserve a visit to Disneyland to go see what they have in place. Do that for yourselves as well as for us, right? Okay, so that's, and what my point was, which you'll find if you're new to this channel, that I digress a lot. But the point of that is then maybe Disney doesn't have to lay people off. And this could be the reason they're waiting till December. I don't want to get people's hopes up, but maybe if they can get authorization and they can get clearance and they can get open, these people won't have to be laid off. Isn't that a nice thing to think? So let us all, in our hearts and in our minds, imagine the park getting open and these people keeping their jobs. Because for many of them, this is their dream job. Okay? Disneyland is their dream job. Disney World is their dream job. Animal Kingdom is their dream job. The cruise ships are their dream job. Working for Disney is a dream job. Okay? So, like I heard a young lady say who was getting laid off from the airlines, what do I do when I'm laid off from my dream job? That's a good question. So we can stay positive and send our good wishes their way, and maybe, hopefully, Disney will open up, Disneyland will open up, and they won't have to lay off so many. That's my hope. It's a little challenging with the Walt Disney World because Walt Disney World is open, so that's kind of like, ooh, what's that about? Okay. All right. So that's my Disney news. The Bowers Museum doing a really cool thing where you can see the first ticket, you can see Floyd Norman as a baby, and you can see all kinds of cool stuff. I'm sure Bob Gurr's up there. All kinds of cool stuff that, you may not have gotten to see because a lot of times the Disney archives are inside Walt Disney Pictures and you need a special opportunity to go there. So now you can see it. Everyone can go see it. For the price of a ticket, you got to do a reservation. So get over there, get that reservation done so that you can go. Okay? It's something fun. At least it's something that you can consume that's Disney, right? That could really make you feel like you're, better, like you're there. My suggestion, anyway. Okay. Pumpkin classes. Did you see Outrageous Pumpkins? Did you like it, the third show? I liked it because I heard my laugh. I was beginning to think, they were going to make me the villain. And because when you leave as an actor, as a judge, I'm not really acting on there, am I? I'm really telling the truth. They're going to cut and take what they want. And a good example of that was hold on, I've got my mini pearl. I've got the tag on my neck. There we go. Thank you. Oh, ow. But no, this last one was great. It had my giggle in there, and it had my upbeat attitude, and it was really freezing. So you may have noticed, if you've seen the show, that this time they had like a pergola's little wood structures around each contestant because it was 10 degrees, and when that wind blew, it went below zero. We had snow flurries. It was a really cold day. Every single contestant did a fantastic job working in those conditions, and they really blew the doors off on some of their designs, didn't they? Just fantastic. Just wow. Just wow you. So I was very excited, very positive, very tickled by it, and very touched by it, and was really glad that I got my giggle. So I hope you'll watch it. If you haven't watched this on the Food Network, it's called Outrageous Pumpkins. And the third episode was last night. We've got one more episode, the fourth episode, I believe. And then they'll probably, Food Network often replays it. So there's a very good chance they'll replay it. I'm going to touch base with, I'd like to touch base with production today and kind of see if they're going to, but catch it. And if you catch it next Sunday, you can binge watch it all the way to the end because the other shows kind of show before that, is what I am told. I always just pop in for the show live and then I pop out because it's my family day. But the family watches the show. My dog and me and my husband, we all watch the show because it's new for me too. I realized that you know, when we do the show again, which I'm saying this positively, of course, I want to be sure that I see them lit, really lit, because we had a box that we looked at, but it really didn't show. They just gorgeous lit. So, yeah, that would be my oath to do next time. But anyway, I hope you saw the show and I hope you enjoyed it, which brings me to my pumpkin classes, which will be a lot of the techniques you see on Outrageous Pumpkins. So if I go over here to my section that will send you to, there we are. This is my online store site where you can go see what days my classes are, which just for you right now are Thursday the 29th, Friday the 30th, and Saturday the 31st. In the mornings. Right now I'm doing them Pacific time. I'm doing them for 3 hours in the mornings. You can also take a look at the DVD and the tool set I have there, and I have a special where you can get the DVD and the tool set for a special price if this is something you want to do. The class is $20. It's virtual. We'll be doing it on Zoom. And as soon as I know you are a student, I will be sending you Zoom information. Okay? It may not happen immediately, but it will happen. And then I'll keep reminding you and keep reminding you. You are going to need tools. These tools are pretty easy. Well, they're not easy, but they're basic. You've seen them, the tools they use. They use peelers, and then you see the loop tools they use. Those are ceramic sculpting tools. So if you know a ceramicist, if you're near a ceramic shop, if you're near a store, and you just want to grab the tools you like, feel free to do so, okay? But do go on my store and take a look at the basic set that I have. Take a look at those, and then if you want to duplicate it yourself, you're welcome to do it, but the price is very, very reasonable. So please go check it out and sign up, and we're gonna do our virtual fun show. Bring an open heart and a happy mind and a willingness of patience, because it's going to be the first time I ever do a Zoom class, and it's going to be weird for me because as many of my alumni students will tell you, I'm very in there. I loan you my tools. I help you get the feel of what it's like to sculpt these pumpkins, and it's a lot of fun. I will, on my website very soon, have a video you can go to, and I will send you to my website. And then the next time we talk, I'll send you that link as well. I'll show you that link. So that way you can go over there and take a look at what a pumpkin is, what types of pumpkins there are, and take a look at my different pumpkin video that I did. So I'm putting that up for my web designer to post when she can. You know, I'm not her only client, but she'll do the best she can. And then as soon as that page is 90% there. So we're just doing some final tweaks. I changed some dates. I was going to do the Saturday before, but I realized from a lot of you that you want to try and keep your pumpkin for Halloween night. So that's why we're doing it that Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. If you live outside of the country and those times are getting you up at 2 a.m., you let me know, and maybe you can get a small group together and we'll do a Zoom call together so that you can participate too. You know, I don't mind doing an evening one if the morning for you, let's say in the UK, is easier for you all. So just let me know, write to me, post in the comments, message me on Facebook, whatever it does, and if you want to take a class and you'd like to do it at a different time. Okay? All right, so there's that. That is the thing I wanted to talk about for sure. Yeah, okay. And finally, well, no, not finally. The hitchhiking ghosts are having a bit of a challenge. So I'm going to get with my team today and find out what's challenging us now, other than it's Monday. But I want to just have a talk with him because I have a few ideas that might make his life easier. I don't really want my team to be miserable while trying to make these ghosts. I want it to go as smooth as we possibly can. So I want to find out what some of the challenges he's having, because he was going to deliver some of the prototypes to me today, and now he's pushed it back till he was going to do it tomorrow. I said, how about Wednesday? Because we had already set a date for Wednesday, but I'm going to call him after this and see if we can chat about have a talk about the challenges he's having, because the couple is having, actually. It's two people R&Ding it, and they look beautiful. I just did a small change, and sometimes it's the little things that the wouldn't it be cool lifts that add days to something. So this is one of the questions that I'm going to be asking. Whew, it's craziness, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. Also, you may have heard I am doing a Rolly Crump chess set. I'm going to reach out to Rolly today. I have made it my mission. I tried a few days ago last week once. That's all I did, and then I got really busy. But I want to talk to him before I break ground on it, and I want to break ground in it. And then also I'm doing my own piece this year. Finally, I've just said life's too short, and I have a couple of pieces I really want to do. I have one that's really strongly pushing on me. Actually, I have two pieces, and I really want to work on them. So I will document those, and I will share with you those, some time-lapse photography, my process from A to Z, things like that. You can look forward to seeing that. I will say I actually got it from an amazing man, some amazing stop motion animators who kind of walked me through certain things that they did, and I liked what they did, and I liked how they shared with you. So I'm going to just let them be my mentors as far as this is concerned, and apply it to my sculpture work, which is my first love. I also draw, but sculpting is, I will sculpt for food pretty much. So there's that. Okay. Again, if you want to be a part of the, there we are, the Patreon page, you want to be in the spotlight, you want to join a group of people, a group of artists, non-artists, but all of us are passionate about what we do, learn about us, share your knowledge, share your passion with us, then please go here and check it out and join Terry's tribe, because your voice is special, your voice is needed, and you matter. Also, I have a YouTube channel. There it is. It doesn't want to tell you. There it is. There's the YouTube channel. It is not as consistent as I am here, but I'm working on it. I'm simultaneously broadcasting on YouTube, making me more and more consistent, but I want to show you guys some time lapses on the YouTube channel, and I want to show you guys some little quick teaching tutorials and stuff like that. It's just that's a lot, and then I'm also sculpting product as well. So I'm just watching people, and this is why I looked at the stop motion animator, because he's animating, which takes him days, yet he's still creating content. So I always like to look at the rock stars on YouTube and how they're balancing their time, because it'll help me to balance my time and finally get up to that level where I'm really providing you some good content, which is what I want to do. So, so there's that. So please check this out. It's free. Subscribe. Just, you know, my goal is to have as many of you there as possible, and hear from you and get your input and your good wishes and your suggestions, as long as they're not snarky. You've noticed that sometimes on YouTube there's a couple of people that kind of try and get you, but that's all par for the course. You just take it with a grain of salt water off a duck and just keep going, right? But just wanted to share that with you. And again, to join the classes, you go here. That's my store, and you can go there and sign up. I did fail to mention, and I'll tell you right now, the category is pumpkin class. So you can, in the search box at my store. Slow down, Terry. It's only Monday. The search box on my store site, you can type in the category, which is pumpkin class, and that has everything pertaining to these virtual pumpkin classes that you need. And it will say 2020. So that's the one you want, the 2020 one. So there you go. So the ghosts are coming up. The Rolly Crump stuff is coming up. There's lots of stuff happening, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done. I am gearing up for Halloween, even though I really don't know if we're going to have it. So today or tomorrow, depending on how crazy today gets, I'm going to search out my pumpkins, because I will be showing you throughout this month my pumpkin creations, simply to inspire you, encourage you to come take the class from me, and to get ready for the Halloween that may just be me and my husband, my dog, decorating the house and praying that somebody gets to see it and enjoy it. Because with the pandemic, we just don't know. So we're just gonna prepare the best we can, and we'll see. Hopefully it's a cool night. Yeah, hoping it's a cool night. Want that to happen, want that to be the most fun. And while I'm doing that, I'll share tips on preserving your pumpkins, a couple of ideas what pumpkins to use, things like this throughout. So this is the week I've got to go and find out if I can, where I can get pumpkins. Because like I've told you, well, like I've said, or, if this is the first time joining us, you're going, when did you say? But let's just start from the beginning, which is that pumpkins need a lot of water and they need a lot of love. And they are like me, they like the cool temperatures. So if it gets too hot, it's very hard to raise pumpkins. And we have had some killer hot weather here in California. So I have to see if I can find a farm. A farm is the best for getting your pumpkins, because a lot of times, if it's a true farmer or farm, they can tell you the difference between a Big Mac, a Howden, and a Wolf, for example. There are all kinds of varieties. There's the little bitty pie pumpkin that people make pies out of. But the wall of a little bitty pie pumpkin is only about that thick. So if you're a beginner, I don't want to teach you on a little bitty pie pumpkin, because that could be dangerous. But if you watched the Outrageous Pumpkin Show yesterday, you noticed that Danny pointed out a squash that he uses. So I will be talking about that too. He also talks about why he used it on the Outrageous Show, and he's absolutely right. They look like a long sausage shape with a little bell on the bottom, a little bulb on the bottom. And the bulb holds the seeds, but the long shape is solid. So you can carve. And maybe many of you saw my pumpkin sculpting pumpkin. And when I get a minute, I'll show it to you again, of the hand pointing. Well, the hand was that squash. I could do the fingers and everything, and the arm coming out of that pumpkin, because I used a squash. So that's the kind of stuff that I want to share with you. That's the kind of stuff that's not on the DVD, because the DVD was done early when I was sculpting only the prize winners for people. The video is really good in teaching, because it's the same methods, but it's old in that we talk about putting a candle inside a giant pumpkin. And now what I do is put in battery powered lanterns. They have so many great battery powered lights available at your DIY store that you can put that light in, open, and it gets really bright. Also, there's a light that was built for me, and many people build, that actually has a screw-in sort of twirly bulb, and you can pop that in, and that really pushes the lights out through your pumpkin. So you'll be learning lights, you'll be learning about the various tools and how to use them, and you'll also learn about the different kind of pumpkins. So it's a big class. It goes 3 hours each session, but here's the thing. When I do a pumpkin class live, I'm there till God turns the lights out. So in this case, I will most likely go longer than just the 3 hours, especially if you need me to. So join me, for $20. It's a lot of stuff. You will need to get your own tools. You will need to get your own pumpkin, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you'll join us. I'll talk to you about design and looking for a pumpkin that perhaps looks a little bit like the design you're thinking about too, in the video that I'm posting to my website. So I'll keep you guys updated. Friday, I'll do the update during the AMA about that. And hopefully pray a lot for prototypes of the Hitchhiking Ghosts I get to show you. I'm really dying to show you those. They are super cool. But we got to get what we got to get. I got to find out what's the challenge, Why are we having a challenge? And see if I can't make it easier for my team, which is the other thing that I want to really do, So there you go. Is there anything else I would like to tell you? See, I have my list right here. So I'm just checking to make sure that I didn't forget anything. And it looks like it's pretty doggone good. Yeah, yeah, it is. So there's the store. Please join the class and woohoo, here we go, here we go. New stuff on the horizon, new sculptures, just new stuff. Yeah, yeah. Just if you find yourself doing a lot of stuff and you're feeling like you're revved up and you're not getting anything done, take a minute and just sort of, you've heard people say breathe. That really does work. But if not, plan an hour or so of doing something just for you that maybe doesn't push your career forward. Something that's just silly fun. Like, for example, I am this week going to schedule myself 2 hours of Lego, because am I going to do a Lego build? No. But I love learning new things, and stop motion was one of those things. So it's the same thing. With stop motion, I'm learning something new. I'm enjoying it. I'm appreciating stop motion more. Of course, I love stop motion animation. I've loved it since I saw Harryhausen's Ray Harryhausen, the ultimate stop motion animator. I saw Ray Harryhausen's Jason and the Argonauts with the skeletons, and if you haven't seen it, that's the movie you ought to be seeing. It's an amazing movie. He animates 7 skeletons at the same time. Now, here's the deal, guys. When you're animating, stop motion animating, back then, there was no such thing as a lunchbox, which you're going, lunchbox, what's that? Lunchbox was something that when they were doing James and the Giant Peach and Nightmare Before Christmas, those animators, Henry Selick and Company, had a thing called the lunchbox. I still have it here. And if you want to see it, post it in the comments and I'll show you what I'm talking about. But it cannot function anymore because there's no connectors. I would have to go to like a connector thrift store or something and see if I could find the connectors to fire it up. But it used to do the ghosting sequences, meaning you could look back at what you did and look forward to make sure of the flow of your animations. And this would be cell animation, stop motion animation, any kind of animation. It allowed you to do this in this box. Now we have apps. Now we actually have an app for free that you can download that does the same thing. Phenomenal. So Ray Harryhausen used to grumble. I met him, and he was quite a character. But Ray Harryhausen used to grumble about, you kids today have it so easy. You ever had that? When I was a kid, I had to walk to school uphill both ways. And so this was kind of Harryhausen, and he was absolutely right. Another good friend of mine is Michael Jitlove, who did The Wizard of Speed and Time. He did another sort of stop motion animation thing. It was great. He also did a Disney Channel thing with Mickey Mouse ears. Mickey, kind of like the one that's above my head here, but it was like a satellite Mickey. It was really cool. And one of the things they would tell you is the phone would ring. And what they do is they use instruments to gauge where their character is, because that's all they had. They had film. They couldn't go back like you can digitally today to see where they left off. And if they developed the film and they saw the sequence and there was a jump or a bounce and they couldn't fix it in editing, they had to do the sequence all over. And it could have taken, months. So Harryhausen said, when you look at the Ray Harryhausen films, Clash of the Titans, Jason and the Argonauts, all of these different films, you may think that they're kind of stiff, or you may have an opinion about how they look. I'm going to tell you they're amazing, because they had none of the stuff we have today. He had to remember it. Even King Kong with Willis O'Brien, butt kiss, guys. And one of the things you want to notice if you watch the original 1933 King Kong, which I highly encourage you to do, is to watch the fur, because when Kong moves, it shimmers. And the reason it shimmers is because the animators had to hold the body and move it. and they didn't necessarily brush it out all the time. So that shimmer is from them pushing down the fur in order to turn him. It's pretty impressive. And if you have the ability to slow it down, you'll get to see where one of the shots they didn't get out, which was one of the gauges that they had in there to make sure Kong was doing what he's doing. But when you look at stuff like Mighty Joe Young, and you look at stuff original King Kong, these guys were phenomenal. Willis O'Brien was like, wow, how did you even, So stop motion animation has got a lot of charm, a lot of beauty, and I'm really happy that so many are keeping it alive with their various ways of filming, and YouTube is just full of this stuff. And I don't know how far I'll go with it, but one of the things I like is to try and do it like they do so that I better understand it. Because to be honest with you, I understand it and I love it. And even the simple things that my husband and I have been doing, where we're pushing things around and things like that, which is probably the simplest of the thing. You're not taking a puppet and moving him around or whatever. But it's just fascinating. It's just so much fun. So something new is what I highly recommend that you do. Is come do something new. If you haven't drawn, start drawing. If you haven't sculpted, try sculpting. If you haven't written and you think you'd like to write, this is the best time. You're home. What else can you do? Binge watch? Do something you always wanted to do. Maybe you always wanted to experiment in cooking. Maybe you always wanted to, garden. Okay, my friend Sabrina Balu, she's really gotten into this gardening thing, and she's a maestro at it. She really has a green thumb. Me, no. But she has a green thumb, Maybe you want to do like I'm doing, which is to go on the hunt in your garage and various shops and get them clean. This is the cleanest my shop has been in 10 years, and it's amazing to know right where everything is when I need it. My table over, if you look at camera 3, well, this is camera 3, you can't really see over here, but this table is the cleanest it's ever been. It's got a few things on it now because it's got a few of my prototypes. It's got a few of my clays, which you saw during the AMA. It's got a few things that are just, wow. That's all I'm going to say. It's so nice to have a drawing table used for drawing instead of catching everything, is what I'm saying. So whatever it is you want to do, now is the time to do it, because if you're locked at home, it gets you up, it gets you moving, it gets you energized, doesn't it? Doing something fun. Many of you have decided to make masks. I want to do that too. I'd like to illustrate my own line of masks. But I need to get a few other things done first, don't I? Yeah, you've said so. So there you have it. So everyone, we have now been on for 48 minutes. I'm going to take the last part of this hour to take a look at your comments. I always warn you, if you have a life, or if you don't want to see your comment go up, you can always come back and see it later. But I love to read the comments on air and see the pictures that you guys have decided to do right in this area, because I really think that's fun. So I'm going to do that. But if you don't have time to sit through that whole la 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 la, then feel free, absolutely free, to take off, do your own thing. Don't have to worry, right? Just enjoy your day, enjoy your Monday, enjoy everything that. Have a good week, right? And I'll see you Friday. Please check out my Patreon page. It's a lot of fun, and it's for all of you people, because all of you have passion. Please, 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 if you're feeling down, if the world is getting to you and making you feel a little blah, then do something nice for somebody else. There's a bitter heart. Do something nice for somebody else, and it'll make you feel better. Trust me, it works. And I'll see you soon. I'm off to the comments now. Yay! What have we got today? Oh, Anna, how cute. Your picture is hilarious. This picture that you got is so funny. Love your shirt. Thank you. This is I didn't mention this. I did on the tribe today, but I didn't mention. This is my 50th anniversary Club 33 shirt. You see, and there's a 33 right here. I worked really hard, Anna. If I hide your comment, I worked really hard to show people where this sort of tiki type Club 33 is, and look, there's one right here. So it's got a lot of what's the word? Polynesian fun. I think it's the 50th anniversary. I could be wrong. Anyway, I got it as a gift and I love it. And I'm wearing it. Good morning, Melissa. Thank you for crossing over and seeing us. And Deanna, you look brighterier and chipperier. Good morning, Jerry Cornell. And Jerry, we'll be looking at your spotlight on Terry's Tribe very soon. I'm editing it today. Happy Monday from Alabama, David. Thank you very much. I'm very excited to have you here today. Hi, Joe Sasaki's in the house. You know, Joe is an amazing fellow. I don't know if he's still here, but I'm going to say it anyway in case he comes back. Joe is an amazing fellow. He's actually one of the many Disney people who actually made it to retirement. This is a marathon, guys. It takes a lot of patience. And if you're able to retire, this is a good thing. And Joe is one of the magical people who has indeed retired, and yay for him. Hello, Miss Piggy. And we've got Bob Berdine in the house. Watched Pumpkin Giant. Okay, Michael, I hope you enjoyed it. I thought I was, everyone has had really good wishes about the show and telling me that I look really good and I am really good. It's really strange to watch me with lipstick because I'm not a makeup girl. But on camera, you gotta let them do what they're gonna do. Beta tape. Yeah, no, I don't know if it was a beta tape because my husband warned me beta was very short-lived, even when beta was out there. Speaking of short-lived, I don't know if you remember laser discs, but they used to look like vinyl, like a record. And if you don't know what a record is, I'm mom. But, forgive me, but there was before laser discs took over back in the day, there was movies that were in like a big case and you slid them in the machine and then you pulled the case out and it played. Those lasted about 2 New York minutes and then they were gone. And then you had laser discs. So again, like beta, gone. So no, I don't think it was a beta tape. Anna says she worked this weekend and this week on vacation. So this week you're on vacation? Only a few places. I know there won't be a lot of people, but not closed spaces. Adapting to have a little fun. I love hearing that. I love that so much. And Anna, please schedule a spotlight. Hello, Miss Ann. It's good to see you. How are you? I've been noticing you've been very busy online, so I know you're very busy. Thank you, Michael, for that. Again, I felt like they were showing more of me. My giggle was in there, and my smile was in there, and my enthusiasm was in there. And the other ones I had it, but it was more. It made me happier. It was great. Especially since it was freezing cold. Where did that come from? But you know me and the cold, so thank you for saying that, Michael. Now you can do Hitchhiking Ghost stop motion animation story adventures. Yeah. I'll have to ask my husband. If you have seen Disneyland Dance Party on our YouTube channel, I'm pretty sure I put it on the YouTube channel. I better check to make sure because it should be on the YouTube channel. But you can go over to my YouTube channel and see it. It's really cute. It involved me and my husband. My husband was really in the stop motion. We were going to do a third stop motion that had to do with Disneyland, but he just kind of felt like our third one wasn't that interesting. He's really got to feel it. And he did too, and he said, I want to do something different. So, this is where I'm following his lead. So we'll do something different. I have some ideas. I have to schedule off time or won't have any. Melissa, you're absolutely right. This is the thing. There's nothing wrong with getting a good date book or your phone. I'm honestly a date book kind of a girl. I need to have a paper. I'm going to show you really quickly. I'm going to dig it out here. I actually like one where I could draw as well, but this one's okay. But you can see it's massive. It's got all kinds of stuff in it, right? Look at all of the writing in there. Oh, let me just hold it differently so you can see it. See? Lots of writing, my pages. If we go back, it's all like that. This is my life on paper. Okay, I may also put it in my phone to remind me, which is great to have the reminders and stuff, but I am not this. This is a little small for me. The phone is small. It's too small. And so I like a laptop, and I love paper because, you know, old dog. So I love the paper. I love to write it down on paper. Dun, 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 dun. But yes, so I get some sort of book, and I'm always looking. In fact, I'm looking for a new one because I had one last year I just loved where it had blank pages. So if I had a brainstorm of an idea for a sculpture, an illustration, a thank you note, whatever it was, a cachet, I could sketch it right in there. And this one doesn't have enough of that. It just doesn't. Still, with that being said, I probably have a sketch in here somewhere because I'm just desperate to have that that happen, but I don't know if it's in here or not. Anyway, that's what I like to have is one that has the little paper that you can sketch as well as put in your notes. I'd like to see the month all together, like you saw, everything's all together, as opposed to the one that's sort of like days where you can write novels. Nah, I no. But scheduling is very important. My hubby was in quarantine all weekend. He got tested Sunday for COVID. Won't get results for a couple of days. He doesn't have symptoms. Chances are he's fine. But, you know, you noticed, guys, that Trump keeps telling us how fine he is, but everyone around him is in a panic. Well, of course they are, because he got it, which means if you're anywhere near him at this time, he's been having these rallies and everything, you could possibly have gotten it. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's not necessarily about you. It's about, imagine being the president of the United States, how many elbows he bumps and people he flies with without a mask. Inside air. That's not circulating. This is what I'm talking about. It's not about you, buddy. It's about everybody else. And that's why I said the mask, the social distancing, seriously important. Listen to that Dr. Fauci. He knows what he's saying. So, and hello, Brian. You made it. Good morning and happy Monday, Linda. Hope bingo was awesome. Till February 28th. Yes, till February 28th. Yeah. You think February 28th is when it's going to open, or, you know, don't think they're going to get a chance to open earlier? I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed and hope they can open earlier. Is this the same display I went to prior to the lockdown? It's awesome. Yeah. Well, there's a few things. Let me just show you a few things with this system. Everybody asked me about the system. First of all, you have this killer, wonderful microphone. That my husband had. Actually, this microphone, could be this one, could be the one over by my desk if I cut to camera 3. You'll notice there's another one back here for when I walk over to my table and talk to you. That makes 2 microphones, doesn't it? One of these microphones belonged to my husband. The other belonged to his father. And when his father passed away, Lindsay became the recipient, but then I did too. These are amazing microphones, and they make my voice sound rich and wonderful. But those were there, and then I have an amazing, let me go to 3, doesn't really show you, just 4, not really. If I pull it in a little bit, no, maybe I can turn the camera over. But next time I'll show you. I have this amazing switcher that allows me to cut from camera to camera in real time, like now. And then the other thing that makes it seriously cool is camera 2, which can show you my art or can show you an object. So here, for example, is a set of cufflinks. I do on my Patreon page, I do what's called a treasure chest. And this is because I hit a certain level of tribe members. And so every month we do a new um, treasure chest, I call it. And you can put your name in the hat. And if it's drawn, you get this. Well, you get something like this. And this is the Marvel Comics cufflinks. So this is one of the things being offered on the page this time. And all you have to do is be a member. You don't have to, you have to be a part of the Patreon page. This is also something else. So this camera allows me to show you like this, okay? This is what's fun, right? And then camera 4 gives you a different angle. Pardon my throat. Frogs in it, ribbit. And this is just my little darkener thing so you can see it a little better. But this also just gives you a closer view of, and that's being offered too. So anyway, if you're not on Patreon, you should be, because your voice is necessary. Your voice is important. Your voice means a lot. And we've got some great people over there. It's a party. Just ask Jerry Cornell. Jerry Cornell is a filmmaker and was very busy, but when he did the spotlight and he met the people of the tribe, he has not been coming to see us on our Zoom calls. We do a Zoom call as well. He was shocked at the outpouring of love and joy that comes from the tribe. I'm telling you guys, you may think I want your $5 a month. I do. It allows me to stay present and also go to places that can't afford to have me go to places. It really is, you really get a lot for $60 a year, is $5 a month if you are on the basic Patreon membership. But you, in that basic, you get a lot, okay? So you get, private Facebook Lives twice a week, and you get a Zoom call every week, and you get to be on a spotlight, and you get part of the treasure chest. And I'm probably sure you get a lot more because everybody has something they bring to the table that is absolutely supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. So if you think this is just because trust me, I put a lot more time in than I do than for that amount. It's just because I want you to have a place to go during the pandemic. So honestly, it's a great place. Just ask Jerry Cornell. And Deanna, she's there too. Let's see. Hello, Susan. Archives event. Well, how nice of you. Yes, March 7th to January 28th. So, Susan, here's what happened with that. They postponed their March because of the pandemic. So they are just opening it now. They made the announcement today on the news. So it's now, that's what you're saying. It's going through till January or February 28th. Maybe going later because they had to push it because of it, right? Because there was that serious lockdown in March, so they couldn't do it then. So that's great. And thank you, Susan. You guys are so good. Thank you, Lon. I love you guys too so much. Lon, you should join the tribe. We miss you over there. We need 3 weeks of being in the orange, I think. Better safe than sorry. Staying safe at home, bad if hotspot, LA peeps come down to OC and raise our stats. Absolutely, my love. Absolutely. This is the biggest question when it comes to the pandemic. Are you allowed to say, no, don't come here and infect us? This is what Hawaii is doing. Hawaii is saying, guys, no. So Hawaii is these other places, and we have cooties with other countries, right? Right, Ana Diaz? We can't necessarily come there because they're like, So until we get our act together, we're doing better. We just got to keep it up, right? We just got to keep it up. And Lon, you're absolutely right. Disneyland isn't an amusement park, is it? Well, there's a couple of rides that are making me feel that way. But I'm digressing on another thing. Let's go with your idea right there. And your idea right there is absolutely true. Disneyland is a state of mind, isn't it? And it's in your heart, and it's just, people need it. So, how would you know that if you're not in, well, maybe if you're too busy to go to Disneyland, you're too busy, running California. You're doing the real work. It can't be easy to do this right now. I'm sure you want to put your feet up. You want to do something. You don't want to have everybody barking at you, and you know that everybody's barking at you. You can't make everybody happy. Oh, why would you be a politician? You've really got to have a passion for it, don't you? Because it's just like, ugh. I just look at it and I go, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's just, my hat's off to you if you're gonna do that. So do yourself a favor, go down to Disneyland and check out their pandemic safe things that they've been doing, and experience the park with people who really have loved it, know it, and are behind it 100%, like me. Good morning, Joseph. How are ya? Steve Barr says, just in case anyone watching has any difficulty finding the wonderful, amazing Terry Arden Jacket on YouTube, do yourself a favor and pop over there, hit the follow button when she's done with the broadcast. I love you. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. I would love to have 100,000 followers. What would I do with 100,000 followers? And do I deserve them right now? Maybe not right now, because I need to be better at my content, but that is a goal, isn't it? Not because of what it would bring me, but because when I see someone who has a lot of followers like that, that's work, guys. That is work, and I need to learn before I get that good. You watch these people who have got those followers, their sites come once a week. It's, they didn't start with teams, and one of the things that I love to do, as Steve is pointing out, is I love to see how they started, and that's what's great about this guy who just got his 100,000 award, stop motion animator, whose name I can't remember. But it's just because I was just introduced to him yesterday, so I promise I will name your name next time. But you know who you are, because you got that beautiful trophy, and I didn't even know YouTube gave trophies. But the point is, your videos, I was very happy that you kept your very first one up, so I could see a little bit of your journey, and it gave me hope. So I'm really grateful. I want to shout out to all of you YouTube stars out there that kept your first ones, where you're explaining what your channel is and how you did, and I can watch your early getting yourself revved up and getting to the point we are, because you didn't just fall out of bed and become 100,000 viewers strong. It takes work and it takes time, and as this young man said, it took him 4 years, and he's so proud and he's so happy and he's really talented, and I just love watching what he does. So Steve, thank you for this. And yeah, I'm working every day. Janie, how are you guys? Okay, so Janie and her husband and I went to Paris together, and it was wonderful. And they were going to do a testimonial to me and to tell everybody why they should take this excursion with me when the pandemic hit. First of all, we got sick, and then the pandemic hit, so we haven't been able to see each other, and we miss them terribly. But they've promised that they will do it. And there's no reason to rush, is there, Janie? Because we're not going. We're not allowed. It's all happening in good time. So what do I say? Breathe. And Anna says, see? Anna was with us. Yeah, it was just beyond fun. It was so much fun. Next time we're just going to kidnap and take Anna with us everywhere, actually, because she was so lovely. Thank you for saying you love the show, Outrageous Pumpkin Show. You know what's so funny is that if I had this is the thing I'm talking about when you feel you're a little overwhelmed. If I had my druthers, I should have let my neighbors know that I'm on it. The other day, my neighbor walked up and said, "Are you on a show?" And I was like, oops, I didn't even let my neighbors know. And that I should have really blew the doors off this and told people about the show. But I'm going to find out if it's airing again and maybe do it then. But, you only have two hands, and I'm still hoping for a prehensile tail, and it hasn't come yet. Be great to have it. If you've ever watched Kung Fu Panda and seen the bad guy, Tao Lung, I think is what you call him, Anyway, he shows you the importance of a prehensile tail if you watch him, and that just, and those wins. Yes, did you see those? Unbelievable. And guys, what you're not seeing, and they did it so well, these contestants. I was so impressed with that. Was they were in the winds whenever they blew, they were below freezing. And like Ray Villafane says, things don't stick. What worse, it's wet, so you're freezing, and it can actually get a little icy. So it's, they really just didn't give up. And this is what I love about this show. There's no extra people in there to help them do the work. It's all their work. Everything you see is them alone doing it. Okay? With the exception of the advantages from winning. So David had his pumpkins all gutted for him. Now, the interesting thing about someone gutting your pumpkins for you, which did save David time, that is true. But sometimes a pumpkin sculptor, Ray Villafane will back me on this. Ray, is that sometimes you don't want them to do that for you because they may take too much of the material away. If it's someone who's not real clear about how to gut a pumpkin, they gut it for maybe the triangle face and teeth and stuff, then they may take too much. So that can be a positive, but it can also be a not so positive. I won't say a negative, because for David it was great, because David said, hey, this is going to work great for me. And if there was one that was a little too thin of a wall, he could always run and do one, because all of his pumpkins were ready to go. So yeah, so it's cool. It's very cool. I thank you, Deanna. So do I. I'm really enjoying the show myself. Oh, thank you, Peggy. I want to have my own show. I really do. I think I'd be great on it. Just got to figure out what it's going to be. I would love it to be like that craft show that I've seen with the people from Parks and Recreation, which is a really lovely show. Cute people, wonderful, darling people. But that's what I'd like to have. Brian, it was filmed on Long Island. So we were in New York. I mean, I know you know where Long Island is, but I can say New York too. It was lovely. And it's a fascinating place. They have an amazing aquarium there. And so on a day off, I popped over to the aquarium because I love animals, and any excuse I have to see animals, I do. Susie! What a cute picture you have there. It's adorable. Hello, Michael. 40-mile-an-hour winds. Thought the zombie bunny was finished after... Yeah, I know. That zombie bunny was zombified, wasn't it? Yeah, exactly. So, hi, Anna. See, Jenny was like, Anna's on here. See, Janie, you ought to be on the tribe. You ought to be in the tribe. You could talk to Anna every week, and we could do a spotlight on you and David, which I would like very much. Busy bee, indeed. I'm booked. Let's see, Melissa, I'm booked on an out-of-town job for the pumpkin classes. I'm bummed. Melissa, don't be bummed. Give me a date that you're not booked. Okay? So we're going to be connecting a little bit. So let's talk about a date that works for you, and then you don't have to be bummed, okay? Busy bee as well. Wonderful. I am. Am I? I am. What is that about? Pat Brady. Why, thank you so much. How are you, Miss Brady? How are you, my darling? It's been a while. I think of you often. Yes, I do. And you can see what I'm up to. No good. Yeah, it's good to see you. How is it going? Everything is awesome. Everything is beautiful. I've been doing a lot of this. I will say to you, Pat, and you alone, there have been tons more auditions, and I think it's because they like my setup. Although I do it on a phone. My agent insists that my auditions for parts and roles and things like that I'm doing be done on the phone, because they want it to be less professional. They want it cool, but they don't want it too fancy. So they don't want all this camera changes and all this fancy stuff that I'm doing. They just want it straightforward and up front. So it's been a lot of fun and I've enjoyed it, but I've gotten way more auditions since the pandemic, which is weird. But okay. Good to have you. David, did you see or remember DCA, the exit of the animation building? There was a large round case with the turntable with the coolest stop motion Toy Story figures. It would turn with strobe lights and it would come to life before your eyes. Talk about true magic. Yes, David. Yes. Now I'm going to share with you. You know where they stole that idea? Did I use the word stole? Do you know where they got that idea? Studio Ghibli. That's right. Miyazaki has the tree with all of his characters, and when they went and saw it, they duplicated it with the Toy Story characters. So the idea, now I'm not saying it's not a bad idea to pay homage to someone as amazing as Miyazaki, but you should have given him credit when you did your tree. And if I do a tree like that, I will do the same thing. I will give Disney and Miyazaki credit if I do my own. But you are right, David. It's amazing. But Google Studio Ghibli and take a look at theirs, because theirs is phenomenal. But where was it first? Studio Ghibli. Just so you know. Was there an edge of my voice? Because honestly, it was great that Disney did it with the Toy Story characters. Don't get me wrong. That is just lovely. But when you get an idea from somebody else, it's really good to give them credit for the idea, right? Because, you're doing it with your characters, but the idea came from, do you know what I mean? So, like, I need to remember this amazing stop motion guy, right? Because he's responsible for me being inspired on my YouTube channel. So he deserved to be named. It's just that it was so much yesterday. I got so much content. And I am 63. So if he decides to watch me, I apologize. But I will fix that next time. So that's all I'm saying, David. I'm not being snarky. Waves and dances. Yes. Hello. Because being snarky is not cool. Don't be snarky. Michael Clark, I love that you're joining me on YouTube. I think you said you liked it because you could put your feet up and watch it while in the comfort of an easy chair or something on your TV, which I really love. But you're using tech to draw with your iPad now too. Indeed. I draw like crazy on my iPad now. Okay? But here's the thing. I'm told I really need to learn a heftier program like Illustrator. I don't know how to use Illustrator. Full disclosure, because it's on a laptop right now, and I need to draw on the surface that I can't draw on a pad and look up at the screen like many do. That disconnect doesn't work in my head. I'd love to say that it does, and my husband is sure I can learn it, but it frustrates me quite a bit. So I'm not really good at that. So the iPad has a couple of drawing apps that are really fun. One is Procreate, which is huge. And but I'm really stretching Procreate in certain areas. In some areas of Procreate, I'm not using it at all. And in other areas, I'm really taxing it. So it kind of goes, because it doesn't want to do some of the things that I would like it to do. But then the other one is the Adobe Fresco, which is also very lovely. But they're all telling you is on the iPad, we don't have a hefty, supercalifragilistic 1-2 punch program. You can get a lot done, but that's kind of the thing that is a bit of a challenge sometimes for me. Sometimes you put it into Photoshop, which is fine. The Adobe Suite costs money. It's not free anymore. Well, it was never free, but now it's a membership site. You notice that everybody has gotten the clue that a membership site is the way to go, because people keep having to invest in it in order to have it. So as you see with streaming, Disney Plus, TCM, Turner Classic Movies, the new Peacock, CBS Now, are all learning that, like HBO and with Showtime, a subscription service is really beneficial. And pretty soon, if you aren't doing your own content, like Hulu, Netflix, etc., you may find it challenging to have content of your own. And for you, the viewer, this can be a little pain. This can be a bit of a pain because now you're paying for Disney Plus, HBO, Showtime, Hulu, Netflix, Prime, blah, 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 blah. And the next thing you know, you're paying $100 a month to be a member of all these things of the shows you want to watch. So you got to decide, don't you, which ones you like and which ones you don't, and cut loose those that you don't. And sometimes it can be one that you were subscribing to for a long time. You just go, wow, I'm not really watching that. So that's the thing. But everybody is realizing, Adobe as well, Microsoft as well, are all learning that subscription is the way to go. So they're no longer doing those upgrades by the box type thing. They're gone. They're gone. But then there's things like Procreate, which is a free, and then I think it has an upgrade too that you can do that is very good. The artists that work on that, it's very, very good. Check it out. It's a beautiful thing, but if you tax it too much, it's going to go, and you guys got to be patient with it is all. But Leo is right. I love using tech to draw. Why? Because there's a thing called layers in these programs that work a lot like you've seen an animator, and they'll have pieces of paper and they'll go like this to make sure what their character does when they're animating. And the character goes as they do this, as they flip the pages, right? You remember? Now they can do it in an animation app, which is amazing. And if they want, many still do it the old-fashioned way, and some do it digital. I have a neighbor who's an animator, and he does it both ways, kind of like me. I do paper and digital. But what I like about layers is it works as fast as I think, and sometimes it works faster than I think. So all of a sudden, ideas explode as I'm just sketching and hitting a new layer, hitting a new layer, hitting a new layer, and it just goes and works as fast as your mind can create, and it's really fun. Which is why I like to draw on the surface, just like I do with paper. That's the way it needs to happen for me. Maybe you, if you've got that good, you can have it up here and draw down here. Good for you. You're probably way younger than me. If that happens, but Leo is right. That is the case. I write everything on a dry erase board so my husband can read what I'm doing. Also, my husband keeps saying we should get one of those. But oh my Lord, I think what I want to do is what he and I are involved in so he can remember. Right now I'm creating an ad for my cachets that's going to go into stamp collecting magazines. And he's trying to help me remember what he needs to finish that ad so I can get it out. And I keep forgetting. And now that we're talking about it, I'm going to write that down now. Yeah, because he needs a couple of final pieces, cachet ad, before I can get it to the guy who puts it in the magazine, right? So it's seriously important, just marbles get lost, especially during the pandemic. There's so many things screaming at you that certain things get lost, and you go, crud, I forgot to fill in the blank. And it's usually something basic, like all my doctors are asking me for appointments now. Okay, Terry, come and get your physical. Terry, come and get this. Terry, come and get that. We should check this. We should check your skin. We should check your blood. We should check blah, 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 blah. Right now I have a prescription over at the pharmacy. It's been there 4 days. The reason it's been there 4 days is not because I haven't been taking my medication, because I do. Yes, all the time. Very important. But it's half. I break the tablet in half. So it lasts twice as long, but the pharmacy doesn't know this. The pharmacy puts in 30 tablets and doesn't realize that I'm breaking them up and have 60. So when 30 is just about gone, they panic and they keep calling me. So that's one of the things I've got to do is go there, you see? So, that's what I'm kind of saying. So basically some of these domestic-y things, like cooking dinner, can get lost by the wayside. That's why every once in a while I just got to order out. I don't do it much. I always cook. And in the mornings like now, I make a shake, a nutrition shake, because I'm up too early to have breakfast. So I take a shake and then I have my tea here, take my supplements, and off we go. You know, my husband's on deck at 11, so he's on in 15 minutes. He makes his own breakfast. I love him for that. But usually I'm the one that is making our breakfast every morning, you know. So those are the things that sometimes get a little bit, how do I do this? And I got to get the dog up, and I got to feed the dog. And I did that riff the other day on the AMA. You get it. We won't repeat it for you. Yes, the Bowers extended till February 28th. I kind of thought that, Janet, because they did have to start in October. And the reason was because of the pandemic. So they have been trying to build. And I love KTLA 5. And on KTLA 5, Gail, who is one of my favorite announcers, to be opposite her would be great. And what I really should be doing is writing to Gail and saying, hey, let's talk Outrageous Pumpkins. It's what I should have done. And I could have talked to her. I love her. I just think she is an amazing upbeat announcer. And she does the Rose Float. She's a rock star. I really love her. Jerry was great. Thank you, Deanna. I agree. Wasn't he? And guess what my husband said, Deanna? He wasn't lit well. You remember at the beginning I made him move? Many of you don't know what I'm talking about, but Deanna does. This is why I did that, Deanna. And so he says he's going to color correct it, but he just got a giggle out of that. And that goes way back. We've known Jerry since his very second DVD he ever produced for Theme Parkology. So it's just kind of a little bone that my husband and Jerry keep doing. He's keep Jerry lighting. And so to see that happen now so far back, it was just funny. It's not dissing him or anything. It's just cute. Been open for a month. Yes, they just announced it on the news today. So now we got to know it. Leo says, one airline is offering testing to get around Hawaii's quarantine requirements. As long as Hawaii is in agreement in this, go. Understand that Hawaii is one of those places that has decided that there are certain things that are not as important to us on the mainland, and they are really protecting their people. So check it day to day before you go. And I hope you can go, because I would love to go see my sister. I really, really would. She's in Maui. The family my husband got exposed from just moved here to Arizona from California. And how do we feel about that, Deanna? Do you wish you could have told them to wait? Indeed. There you go. See what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Patron page is a lot of fun, says Michael Roman. I love you, Michael. I feel like I added an extended family with the same interests when I joined. That's the idea. And Michael is going to be in the spotlight. So the spotlight is something that it came up because you guys are so interesting. And I'm not just saying that. And I want to know. So I thought, if I want to know, other inquiring minds must want to know. And every single spotlight has been an absolute joy for all of us, especially me. So I hope you do it. I hope you join the tribe and you come and you do it. Yes, right. I got a few things to do. Great program. Oh, thank you. And yes, we all do. Just returned from so Myrna, you returned from a week at WDW. It was awful to see so many sad cast member faces. Yeah? But the parks were busy. I really missed seeing all the entertainers. It really took away from the magic. It's rough, isn't it? You go into the park and it's a kind of a bone-picked structure, isn't it? It's kind of carrion. And although you like the space, it's kind of like when you first were sequestered at home, wasn't it? You kind of dug it. And now maybe you're saying, I miss my friends, I miss my people. Zoom is cool, but you know, how do I get to be closer with these people? And you start to feel, it's weird. It's just weird, isn't it? So yeah, you say a lot, and there's a lot to be said for what you just are stating here, Myrna, and I appreciate you sharing. I did. Janet Cunningham, Krista just had her whole trip canceled by the airlines and hotel for Hawaii next week. Really? Okay, I have a very dear friend who is wanting to get married in Kauai. Kauai is the island of lovers, and so why not get married there? But I am fearful that she might get canceled too. Hawaii is being very, very aggressive with protecting their islands. In fact, my sister said just about a week ago that they are really monitoring inter island. So, islands between each other, not even going up to the mainland where we all have cooties, that they're monitoring that too and stopping it at certain times. Sometimes you can't go from Kauai to Maui or to the mainland or to Honolulu, etc., etc. So watch it, guys, day to day to day, okay? Because the pandemic is making it more precarious for going to Hawaii, and I miss my sister greatly. I really would like to go see her. I did many early morning broadcasts with KTLA 5 at Not Scary Farm. Gail was a hoot, true professional. See, David, isn't she? Well, they all are, aren't they? I love the morning a lot, but I love them all. I've been a KTLA person for a long time because my dad worked at KMPC right next door, for one thing, okay? For another thing, we met Gene Autry, who owned all of that. And after hearing Gene talk about his love for all of these stations, you just didn't watch anything else, okay? Gene Autry was magnificent, is all I'm going to say. So, David, I'm with you on that. Absolutely. Per capita she. Oh, my goodness. So, everyone, look at this. 1 hour, 30 minutes. We did good today, guys. We did really good. I don't want to monopolize your day, but I do want to keep your day positive, upbeat, and happy. So thank you for commenting. Before I go, I am going to post one more time, going to Patreon. There you go. And also the YouTube channel. So there you go. And the classes at my store. So go and sign up. And don't be sad. Where is it? There it is. Ba-bam. Don't be sad if you can't make those class dates. Hit me up on Messenger and we'll see if we can set a date for those of you it doesn't work. Halloween week, I'm trying to keep open for those classes. So if Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday works better for you, we're going to have to work a little bit on the time because, as you know, I do the Zoom call and I do the broadcasts. So it's going to have to take a little, Friday is usually when I do my Ask Me Anything. On the 30th, I'm going to be teaching a pumpkin class instead, but I'll continue to let you know that on that Friday, it's not going to be a lot of Facebook Live. It's going to be classes because you guys need that Friday. So we're going to take it, but we're going to get down, chug along, and I'll let you know. Friday the 30th, no AMA and probably no Facebook Lives because we're going directly to the class. A very new kind of Zoom call. All right, guys. Take care. Do something lovely for someone else. It's going to make you feel so much better. Boom, 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 boom. Love you all. I'll see you soon. Take care.